Happy Friday, everybody! Today we're reading Chapter 10, A Test of Faith. Wally! Gary! It's Dale! Gary shouted. I had to take his word for it. Without my glasses, all I saw was a dark, blurry blob, which must have been Dale, standing on a flat, blurry blob, which must have been the shore. Hang on! Dale shouted. What do you think we're going to do? I thought. Go out for pizza? But Gary shouted something a little more helpful. Hurry! The branch is giving way! Almost like an answer, the branch gave another little groan, this time followed by a little crack. How you doing, Weasel? Gary shouted. Pretty good, I yelled. What's going on? They're tying a rope around Dale's waist. A moment later, I heard a splash and saw a blurry form half wading, half swimming toward us. The branch was full of a lot of sharp spines and stubby things. They cut into my hand pretty hard, so I tried to grab the branch differently. It gave another little jerk, followed by a louder crack. Don't move, Gary shouted. Stop moving. I looked back toward Dale. He was downstream from us about 15 feet. The branch quit cracking. Now it started creaking. Okay, guys, Dale shouted. One of you let go first. You're crazy, Gary shouted. No way! Are we letting go? Come and get us. I can't. You're going to have to let go and let me catch you. What? Let go and the current will carry you right to me. No way! Gary, you gotta trust me on this. I won't let you go. You're crazy, he repeated. The branch gave another little shudder and slipped some more. Trust me, guys. You gotta have faith. Have faith that I won't let you go. What's he doing? Gary smirked. Giving us another one of his speeches? I tried to smile back, but the branch didn't share our humor. It gave another loud creak. What other choice do we have? I yelled. Come on, guys. Let go. Trust me. You let go first, Gary ordered. Me? Yeah, but I don't have my glasses. What's that got to do with anything? Try as I might, I couldn't come up with a good reason. Come on, guys, trust me. Let go. Creak. If I go, you'll follow? I cried. Maybe. Creak. Groan. All right, I'll follow. Promise. Creak. Groan. Crack. All right, I promise. I looked back over my shoulder at Dale. He stood there, waist deep in water, arms spread wide. Come on, Wally, you can trust me. And he was right. After all I'd seen and heard this week, I knew I could trust him. So with a deep breath, I turned to Gary and said, I get 50 points for going first. And then I let go. The current whisked me off like a leaf in a hurricane. Somebody started screaming. It sounded a lot like me. It probably was. After several terrifying sounds, I felt myself crash hard into Dale's chest. Real hard. He gave a loud oof, but wrapped his arms around me tight. I knew he wouldn't let go. Not for the world. Quickly, he half drug, half carried me toward the shore where a dozen people grabbed me and tried to make me lie down. But I wasn't in a lying down mood. Gary was still out there, and by the way Dale kept shouting to him, it looked like he'd changed his mind about letting go. I scrambled to my feet and got as close to the bank as they'd let me. Come on, Gary, I shouted. Come on, man, you promised. I'm bigger than you, he yelled. He won't be able to hang on. There was no missing the panic in Gary's voice. I will hold on, Dale shouted. Trust me. The branch gave another sickening crack. Only this time it meant business. This time it slipped a good foot and a half. Any second it would give out altogether. Any second Gary would be swept into the river. Wally, he shouted. His voice was shaking with fear. Help me, man. You gotta help me. There's nothing I can do. My own voice was breaking as I angrily rubbed the tears from my eyes. You gotta trust him, Gary. You gotta let go. Wally? By now, the rest of the camp was joining in. Come on, Gary. You can do it, man. You can do it. I won't let go, Dale promised. I won't let go. Trust him, Gary, I cried. Trust him. And Gary did the bravest thing he'd ever done in his life. He let go. He forgot all about the pain and stuff he'd gotten from so many people for so many years. He forgot all of that and put his trust in Dale. And just in time, because the exact moment Gary let go, the branch broke loose. We all gasped as Gary and the heavy limb thundered toward Dale. Any other guy would have dived out of the way, but Dale had given his word. So he stood there. Gary and the huge spiked tree limb rushed right at him, but Dale would not move. Next, everything went kind of in slow motion, like in the movies. I'm sure lots of people were screaming, but I couldn't hear them. I'm sure the river was still roaring, but I couldn't hear it. All I saw was Gary crash into Dale. All I heard was Dale cry out in pain as the big guy slammed into him. But Dale kept his word. He didn't let go. He wrapped his arms around Gary and held him for dear life. Then Dale did one other thing, and it's something I'll remember for as long as I live. He saw the limb rushing straight at them and swung Gary behind him to protect the boy. In one quick move, Dale covered Gary and took the full blow of the limb into his own back. He let out an agonizing scream as the wooden spikes tore through his clothes and dug into his body. But he still wouldn't let go. In a flash, the water was filled with kids and other counselors as we all tugged on the rope to bring Dale and Gary back to shore. Gary was doing fine, though he was bawling like a baby. Come to think of it, so was I. Come to think of it, so were most of us. But not Dale. Dale was hurting too bad to cry. Dale was also bleeding. A lot. And that's where we end for today. Chapter 11 is called Wrapping Up. It is the last chapter. But I want to kind of focus on the ending of our story about Dale. I think it's important for us to kind of compare this to what Jesus did for us on the cross. I mean, I'm sure that he was not looking forward to the pain and suffering he had to endure, but he loved us that much. Okay. And if you compare Dale, we could trust him. Okay. We don't have to ask questions or wonder. We just need to know Jesus is going to be there always. Okay. And just like Dale, he'll catch us. Notice at the end, it talks about that Dale was hurting and bleeding like Jesus did on the cross. So don't forget that. But more importantly, what I want you to remember is that Jesus rose from the grave. And that's the focus I want you to keep, because that's the true miracle and the true excitement for us as believers. All right, guys, love y'all, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.